Hi, and welcome to the first video from the Jersey from Scratch series. I will try to show you how to start developing RESTful web services in Java. It's actually easier than you might think. Let's start by explaining the basics. Jersey, the framework we are going to talk about here, is the reference implementation of JAX-RS version 2, which is a JSR specification, namely the JSR 339. It defines a set of Java APIs for creating scalable web services built according to the representational state transfer architectural style known as REST. There are loads of resources on the internet explaining the philosophy and the core elements of the RESTful architecture, so we won't cover it in our video. Instead, if you are completely untouched with REST, I will point you to a wiki page. At this point, I will assume you already know what REST can offer, and you want to incorporate it in your application. To make it easier for you to start with Jersey, we created some maven archetypes that will get you up and running within a minute. Open your console and type maven archetype generate. Maven will list all the archetypes available and let you filter the list. Type Jersey-quick start and press enter. In the filtered list, we have the archetypes from the com.sun group, which belong to the older version of Jersey, which is not a subject of this tutorial. Find the Jersey-quick start-grizzly2 archetype from the org.glassfish.jersey.archetypes group. Select the appropriate number, in our case it's 5, and press enter. A list of versions will appear, from which you want to select the latest one. In our case it's 50, but the number will change with each new release. Now we need to answer a few more questions, such as the group ID. Let's go with com example, an artifact ID. I won't be too creative and type simply my application, and the version. Maven offers me the default 1.0 snapshot, which I'm fine with, so I just press enter. Next, a Java package needs to be defined. Com example sounds good to me. I'll stick with that for now. Final review. Y for yes, and enter. You should see the build success message now. And voila! There's a new folder called My Application, which contains your generated app. Let's explore it a bit. As you can see, we have new maven POM file and the classical app structure with separate folder for sources and tests. Now, before we leave our console, we will try to build and run our application. Type maven clean install, which will compile your app, take care of all the dependencies, package the compiled classes into a jar file, and run the tests. Forget about the tests for a while. I will cover the Jersey test framework in a separate tutorial one day. Now, run the app with maven exec java. This will create and run the lightweight Grizzly server and expose your service. Try to access your URI or the URI suggested in the law. Use your browser or simply run curl from another console window. What you are getting back is the application WADL, which stands for Web Application Description Language. It's a standardized XML telling you where your services are exposed, what parameters do they expect, what media type do they consume and produce, and so on. You see that there's a resource located at the My Resource URI under http localhost 8080/myapp. Try to access it. Use a browser or curl again, and here it goes. Got it. That's a response from your first Jersey RESTful web service. And that's a point where we stop for today. Next time we will import the sources into an IDE and look what's inside the generated files. We will dive into the code and start tweaking it to get basic understanding of the language constructs. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.